Oh, wow.
in his first season.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Exactly.
Love that for him.
Yeah, we love that.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the U. I'm Savanna Hamilton. Let's just get straight to it because the road to the Vanier Cup continues. The semifinals for football are happening this week, aka the Mitchell Bowl and the Uteck Bowl. But before we get into all the good matchups and everything, we gotta talk about the snow last week because parts of Ontario got hit with early snowfall. And guess what? It happened during the men's and women's soccer championships, and it led to some pretty incredible moments. Let's take a look. Shout out to Trinity Western University and the Laval Rouge et Or who had their game canceled because of the snowy conditions, which led to a tie for the bronze medal. That said, Trinity, well, they had a blast turning up in the snow. What a season it has been for the York University men's soccer team captain, Christian Zapiri. Take a look at this. On Sunday, they were playing the Mount Royal Cougars for the U Sports Championship. In the second period of extra time, the Lions got a penalty kick after a handball by the Cougars. Zapiri scored, leading the Lions to victory and their first national title since 2015. And now Christian joins us. Christian, first and foremost, congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so when we saw the footage of the game, it was so snowy. We know that they were even shoveling snow off the pitch. What was it like to play in those conditions?
It was something out of a dream because as a kid, we trained on fields full of snow. But so the beginning of the game, the conditions were okay. We shoveled. The beginning of the game was fine, but then it just kept getting worse and worse. And as soon as it went to extra time, then there was about 3 feet of snow on the field. So you can't really play properly how we wanted to. But it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It was so fun.
Yeah, you had that opportunity to score earlier in the game, and unfortunately it didn't convert. That is what it is. But the soccer gods decided to give you another chance at a PK, a penalty kick, and it did convert. What was going through your mind leading up to that penalty kick chance opportunity again?
So as soon as the ref called the handball, I was probably the most nervous about a single shot in my life because there was so much pressure and build up to that single moment. And especially in icy conditions leading up to the penalty spot, because what if I slipped? What if I went to the same side and he guessed again? What if I missed? I missed 2 penalties in a national final.
What would you compare that moment to? Have you had a moment in your career that has been that intense so far?
No, I think that is single-handedly the greatest feeling I've ever felt after a game. After the final whistle blew, all of the players just collapsed onto the field because in such a perfect environment in the snow after working so hard for 120 minutes, I don't think there's any better award than to lift the national championship after that.
I'm just getting shivers right now because it reminds me back of I actually played at Toronto Metropolitan University myself, and we won the OUA gold. And it was that feeling of being unstoppable and having the momentum on your back and you're carrying your team all the way to nationals. So I'm so happy that you guys came through in that moment. That's so special. You posted in dedication of the win to your dad who passed away. How did he inspire your soccer career?
He was everything to me. He's the one who originally got me into soccer at a young age. 3 years old, he started, and he used to play back in his day. He played in Italy. He played competitively. So ever since I was a kid, he pushed me and my brother, who's currently playing in Italy. Every single day after games, if we know we had a bad game, we would expect a lecture from him in the car, telling us what to do better. But we knew he cared so deeply about us that all that work and effort that he and my mom put into both me and my brother's career finally paid off in such a special moment. So it was very special.
Shifting gears, looking ahead to next season, now that you guys are the defending champs, What are you looking for, like from your team, and going into it?
It's going to be a bit of uncertainty of who's going to remain, where everyone's going to go, maybe to bigger and better things, CPL, overseas to play soccer. So right as of right now, the team is uncertain who we're going to have, the personnel we're going to have, but um, knowing the York program and knowing the coaches, we're going to bring in some new recruits and hopefully defend their champion because we'll be hungrier than ever next year too.
That's amazing. All right. Well, all the best and congratulations again, Christian.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having me.
As we head into the football semis this week, there are a few big upsets that happened along the way to get here. And to break it all down, we're bringing back Dashawn Stevens. He's a former youth sports athlete himself, playing football, of course, and also the founder of Persevere, a youth sports media company. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Savanna. Good to be here.
Okay, let's jump right onto it. The Mitchell Bowl. We got Queens facing off with Saskatchewan. That's pretty, I don't know, pretty incredible considering that Queens is the underdog here. Can you tell us more about that story?
I feel like this year in the OUA was just a year of unpredictability. The Queens Gales entered the playoffs as the fourth-ranked team in the OUA, and I think a lot of people thought that the three teams ahead of them in the standings had better chances of winning the Yates Cup. But credits to Queens, they handled their business. They won their quarterfinal matchup against McMaster, won that big at home. Then they went on the road and defeated a very good Windsor Lancers program, which I was really high on 2 weeks ago, was unfortunately wrong about. And then last week they went to Waterloo and they beat a really good Laurier Golden Hawks team that was at the time undefeated. So they won their first Yates Cup since 2009, and now they have to make one more road trip to Saskatoon to take on the Huskies and play for a chance to get to their first Vanier Cup since 2009 as well. So this Queens team is battle tested. They played in big moments. They've taken on a road warrior mentality, and I think they're getting hot at the right time.
You know, there's something that you touched on, and just before we get further into these matchups, there was some serious news that came out this week, actually, about the Saskatchewan Huskies quarterback, Anton Amunrud, who was diagnosed, unfortunately, of course, with cancer. So, I mean, obviously, this is devastating news. You know, our thoughts and our prayers go out to his family and his support system, and of course, himself. But if you're the Saskatchewan coach, that's a vacancy in the QB position leading up to this bowl. What are you doing? Who are you looking to at this time?
Yeah. First off, I think, everyone in the country is rooting for Anton Amunrud and hoping that he gets better, throughout this process. But for the Saskatchewan Huskies, they're going to rally around Jake Farrell. He's a first-year starter for them, and he's actually been starting since week 6. So he's 5-0 through his 5 starts, and through his 5 starts, he's thrown for 1,219 passing yards, 12 touchdowns. He's built really good consistency with his receivers, such as Daniel Weeb, Thomas Jewell, and Dawson Linnea. And he's played in some big games as well. The Canada West is a dogfight. It's a hard conference. Every game is a playoff game, and he's been able to win all his games. And even last week in the Hardy Cup against the Regina Rams, they faced a 15-point deficit. Saskatchewan, 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter, and he led a comeback to really seal that game. So Jake Farrell, he's battle tested as well, similarly to the Queens Gales. He's been through big moments, and he's proven that he has what it takes to start for this team and lead them to victory. So they're going to rally around Jake Farrell on Saturday in the Mitchell Bowl.
Well, the rest of the quarterback class is pretty interesting. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, I think the cool thing about this year's class is typically you'll see veteran quarterbacks make it this deep in the playoffs, 5th-year quarterbacks, 4th-year quarterbacks leading their team as they kind of go through the journey of building a championship contender. But what's unique about this year's class is that 3 of the 4 remaining quarterbacks are actually first-year starters. So talked about Jake Farrell over in Saskatchewan. It's his first year starting with the Huskies. It's 3rd year with the program, but first year actually at the helm. And then let's look at Montreal, the Carabins. They're led by 20-year-old true freshman Pepe Gonzalez, who's having an amazing season. He is the RSCQ's Rookie of the Year. He's thrown for over 2,000 passing yards, and he stepped into some big shoes to fill with Jonathan Senecal being the former quarterback Heck Crichton Award winner for the Carabin, who career ended last season, obviously just aged out eligibility-wise. And then over in the East at St. Mary's, Justin Shibley is in his first year starting with the Huskies. He was actually a transfer from Carleton. It's his first year at SMU, and now he's in a national semifinal with the Huskies. So of the 3 quarterbacks, or of the 4 quarterbacks, 3 of them are first-year starters. The only veteran of the group is Queens quarterback Alex Vrakin.
And this is a pretty big deal for the Huskies because they haven't been to a semis in 15 years. Can you tell us more about St. Mary's story there?
Yeah. I think this is a big moment for St. Mary's. Like you said, it's been a long drought for them. They used to be one of the dynasties out in the AUS, out in the Atlantic, and they kind of fell off for a number of years. Their current head coach, Steve Samara, was actually their head coach in the 2000s, and he led them to 4 straight conference championships. He left that job in 2012 to go to Carleton to restart that program, did a great job with Carleton, and in his absence, SMU took a bit of a decline. Steve Samara left Carleton in 2021, came back in 2022 to SMU, and he's done a great job rebuilding the program back to where it was before he left. And now they're back on a national semifinal stage. They were in the Lonely Bowl last year, came up short, were able to finish the job this year, and now they're back at having a chance to get into a Vanier Cup. So it's a really feel-good story for that Halifax program for sure.
All right, St. Mary's versus Montreal. Who are you watching?
Okay, I'm going to be real with you. Pepe Gonzalez, the quarterback for Montreal, he's must-watch. He's big time. Like I said, he's having a fantastic rookie season, and I think the crazy thing is he plays like a veteran. He plays like a veteran QB at just 20 years old. I want to put this into context for you, Savanna. This season, he broke the record for most touchdowns thrown by a Carabins QB in franchise history.
Oh, wow.
In his first season.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Exactly.
Love that for him.
Yeah, we love that. The previous record was held by Jonathan Senecal, who is known as the greatest quarterback in program history. Over on the SMU side, aside from Justin Shibley, I say we got to look out for his number 1 receiver, Cherokee Williams, as well. He is an AUS All-Star, another big play receiver, averages around 101 yards per game, and he's had 4 touchdowns this year for the Huskies. So look out for those 4 players this upcoming weekend in the Uteck Bowl.
All right, Saskatchewan Huskies now versus Queens Gales.
Okay.
Who are you watching there?
Okay, this is a big one. I might say this might be my favorite matchup. Maybe I'm calling the game. Maybe
Oh,
I'm not.
really? And give us the goods. Who are you watching?
Who am I watching? I'm gonna be real with you. Really and truly, this is a game that's gonna be a great linebacker matchup.
Okay.
And a great running back matchup. So when it comes to the linebackers, we have 2 of the best linebackers in the country on both sides of the ball. When it comes to the Saskatchewan Huskies, we have Seth Hundeby. He is a 6'3", 250-pound middle linebacker. I know. Let's take that in for a sec. That's
a
crazy.
heavyweight matchup.
That's a heavyweight matchup. Yeah, and he's also the Canada West Defensive Player of the Year. This season, he had 41.5 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 2 interceptions. So he filled the stat box for that program, and he's a veteran on that team. When it comes to the Queens Gales, they have, I think, the other best linebacker in the country in Justin Pace. Justin Pace this season, he was an OUA All-Star. In only 5 games, he had 32 tackles. But in the playoffs, through 3 games, he's had 24 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble. He is the leader of this defense, and he's the undisputed leader of this team in general.
Justin Pace said recently that he knew that Queens was going to win. Have a look.
Yeah, I knew the boys were gonna pull through the whole time. Since January, we knew we had the group to do it, and we just stayed steady throughout the whole season. It definitely was a roller coaster, but we did our best to stay steady. And the guys, like I said again, kept the best football for last, and I think we just all pulled through to get together as a brotherhood, and I think it definitely showed last Saturday.
When it comes to the running back matchup on the Huskies, we have Riker Frank, who's the program's all-time leading rusher in rushing touchdowns. And he was also a Canada West All-Star. This season had over 700 rushing yards. And then for Queens, we have Jared Kasari. Fun fact about Jared Kasari, he's an NCAA transfer who started his career at UMass. And after 3 years at Queens, he's actually become one of the most consistent ball carriers in Canada. So this year, he was an OUA All-Star. He had 900 rushing yards as well as 9 rushing touchdowns. So it's a linebacker versus RB matchup on both sides of the ball when it comes to that Queens versus Saskatchewan matchup.
Well, there's a reason why Queens got as far as they did this season, being the underdog. But let's talk a little bit about the fact that we could potentially be seeing a Huskies versus Huskies Vanier Cup if Saskatchewan pulls through and St. Mary's pulls through. I'm going to call it a dog fight right now. That's what I'm going to deem it. I'm going to brand that right now. But what do you make of that?
Yeah, I think that'll be cool. Whoever's calling that game, I think it'll be pretty hard to call that game. You can't say the Huskies first down or the Huskies score a touchdown. I don't think people know who's talking about who.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything's possible. I think that'll be really, really cool for the culture to see a Huskies versus Huskies. Kind of throw back to the CFL back in the day, Rough Riders versus Rough Riders. People know they know.
Hey, all right. Well, thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.
Guess what, guys? That is all we got for this week. Next week, though, Arash Madani will be back in studio to recap all the football action and set us up for the Vanier Cup. Thanks for watching The U. I'm Savanna Hamilton. Be great.